This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
It is Ryan here, and I have a question for you. What do you do when you win? Like, are you a fist pumper, a woohooer, a hand clapper, a high fiver? If you want to hone in on those winning moves, check out Chumba Casino. Choose from hundreds of social casino style games for your chance to redeem serious cash prizes. There are new game releases weekly, plus free daily bonuses. So don't wait. Start having the most fun ever at ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
You know, some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com, ODOO.com.
Join the Power Trip Zach Halverson at Fleet Farm in Oakdale this Sunday from noon to 2. Stop by and hang with Halby, stock up on all your needs to get out on the water this fishing season, and enter for your chance to win great prizes. Full details available at KFAN.com. Keep your calendar.
Swim with the devil inside. She gives a white coat, smile, huck a kid off. Cracks a guy with a punch in the eye. She walks to the line. She's falling like a suicide. Amy's on the night train, better get her off. Amy's on the night train, she cannot hide it. Amy's on the night train, better get her off. Cut through the heartbreak, she's on the night train.
You know, you asked me if I was thinking ahead to the next series with the Wolves, and they haven't even wrapped up the first one, and I said I was. I think ahead a lot. For instance, as a matter of fact, I was thinking about how at 1:15 there's no more Purple Prey for the year. No! Can we just play the Open just anyway?
Sure.
One last time?
Yeah.
I'd really like to hear it one last time. But now it's time for 5, 3, 4.
Time
Yeah,
now
not.
for 5 questions. Well, actually 3, but 5 sounds like more than 4. Question number 1.
Time now for an in-depth look at the state of hockey.
Yeah, the Wild lost to the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in overtime Saturday afternoon at XL Energy Center. So that series now tied at 2-2. Game 5 is tomorrow night in Vegas. Common, your thoughts on Saturday's game?
Well, I was, this might even, you might want to save this for a whole segment, so maybe I'll just do I'll skim it a little bit. I told you when I walked in from golf getting ready for the tailgate party up at Grandview, I caught the game 3 minutes to go in regulation, and I watched all of OT, and I thought they were going to win it. The crowd, I was not there. Obviously, I just said I was in Grandview. Crowd seemed to be electric, and
I was there. It was good.
And the goal, the winner, was it Draisaitl?
No, he plays for Edmonton.
Okay. It wasn't Connor McDavid, and it wasn't who's their best player
For Vegas?
Yeah.
Jack Eichel?
Eichel. It wasn't Eichel either.
No.
It was somebody or other. And it was one of those, it was a fine goal, but I mean, I think It seemed. Did I see this right? It seemed like it was a really nice save by Gus, but then the rebound, he just
it was a really bad turnover by Jake Middleton. He went to make a breakout pass and kind of flubbed it, and kind of lost it. So all of a sudden it was a little bit of a scrum, and at that point your forwards are not in a position to help defend because they were in their spots on the breakout. And even Middleton looked like he had a second chance to make a defensive play on it in front of the net and couldn't handle it there. So the manner in which they lost was not great. That's not how you want to lose a game like that, where you kind of give it away yourself as opposed to forcing them to make some great play. And they were in the exact same position the Wolves were, right? Win and go up 3-1. They won that game. And, then again, the Wild have never been up 3-1 in a series in their franchise's history. So they had a chance on Saturday to do that for the first time. And we saw what happened. So. Yeah, it was unfortunate. Now, again, your favorite operations manager and mine, when they won, was it Friday night? I said, would have been Thursday night. Yeah. Thursday night. I sent him a text. I said, "You doubted this Wild club." And he texted back, "Who, me?" Because I'm sure he was excited again. And then, of course, he went after me today. I bet, yeah. But, again, do I like their chances to advance as much as I do the Wolves? Well, of course not. But they're right there with them. Well, that's why people were. They've come to play in this series. I think I might have been the only Wild fan that believed in this club before the series started. I picked them. I bet with Rosen and no guarantees, but the way they played when they had Kaprizov and Ek, when they were full strength at the beginning of the season, they were among the best teams in the National Hockey League. And I saw some really. They've played in the hockey I watched Thursday night and yesterday. I still believe they're a really good team. Now, the thing to look for in the next 24 hours is Joel Eriksson Ek did not practice today. And he is one of the main reasons Jack Eichel didn't have a point until Game 4 in this series. So that is something to monitor. But that'll change things for Game 5 if he can't go for whatever reason. Very good.
Question number 2.
We're gonna win, Twins, we're gonna score. It's now time to delve deep into Twins territory. Crack out a home run, shout a hit, hooray! Cheer for the Minnesota Twins today.
The Twins completed a sweep of the LA Angels with a 5-0 win yesterday at Target Field. Joe Ryan pitched 7 shutout innings, recording a season-high 11 strikeouts. Twins went 5-1 on their 6-game homestand. Common was this past week the turning point in the Twins season.
Was last year. We mentioned that last week. It was brought to my attention that the Twins, I think, had, if it wasn't the exact same record, it was 1 game difference in the win and loss column at this point last year. And guess who they had, the 2 series they had scheduled? White Sox and the Angels. And I think the Twins swept both those, won 6 in a row. You tell me they lost one. Which one did they lose?
They lost, I think, the 3rd game to Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
That seems almost like a fireable offense.
That was the rain-shortened game.
Oh, yeah, that's right. After 7 innings, 3 Zippo is what we like to call it. I don't know if it's a turnaround. You win some, it's the 50-50. You're going to win 50, lose 50. What do you do in the other 62? I don't know. Were these 6 games, were they part of the 62 or were they probably the 50-50? I don't know. We talked about the beginning of the year. I thought they had every bit as good a chance to win the division as Cleveland, Kansas City, or Detroit. They're all about on equal footing. They were last year. I don't think any team made any major stride. Funny thing about all sports, but particularly baseball, you can have a couple of guys come out of nowhere and just be brilliant. And Buxton is now starting to play like the guy that we'd always thought he was going to be. He's staying healthy. Correa, I think with the weather warming up, as Mark Rosen used to say, so will the bats. Correa's starting to hit a little bit now. Is it Keishel? That's the new kid?
Yep.
He's good. He's solid. He looks like he's got a future.
He's already hurt.
Oh, when did he get hurt?
Isn't he the one who got hurt?
That ain't good, because he was the guy that I sent a text. You know me.
He's on the 10-day IL due to a forearm fracture.
You know me. I like to be a gadfly, and I sent a text to LaBelle and I said, I wouldn't trade one Keishel for two Royce Lewis's.
I always love
That's
that
too
one.
bad. The Keishel kid was off to a great start in his career, his big league career. Pablo's back and he's pitching well. Ryan was brilliant. Didn't he have like 7 innings of shutout
innings,
ball?
yeah.
I mean, and then finally, Griffin Jack started to pitch like the Griffin Jacks we've come to know and love. He's been really good. I think he struck out 7 of the last 11 hitters he'd faced the last I checked. I don't know if that changed yesterday. So I don't know if it's a change. Let's hope so if you're a Twins fan, but I'm not convinced that beating those two clubs means we've turned any significant corner.
And that's it for today's edition of 5 Questions. Well, actually 3 questions, but 5 sounds like more than 4.
My wife made ground beef taco meat for Baby Brother Peter. Baby Brother Peter actually said to Mom, can you teach me how to cook a few things so I don't have to always rely on you and make so much work for you? So he's actually alleviating Mom from work, but he hasn't done any of that with me. He still does the old to call me up and he'll go, hey, could you throw my clothes in the dryer for me? Then he leaves them there knowing I'm going to fluff them and lay them out for him. And I pulled the Nick Saban on him. I said, showers, no showers are longer than 10 minutes. This isn't a spa. Because he likes to take 25-minute showers, right? And then he wants me to always take the clothes out of the dryer so they don't get wrinkled. And I did it today. I said, that's the last time. You're on your own. But anyways, this is Baby Brother Peter provided lunch today. He was the one that made this ground beef taco meat. So I'm very happy.
He can rattle the pots and pans,
Better than I can. I know that. Tenneby, why don't you tell me about a
bonus bucks?
Yeah, bonus bucks.
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks for their national cash contest. Enter the keyword cash at KFAN.com now. Free shot at winning. That keyword is cash. Enter now at KFAN.com.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Ooh. But then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crawford, and I'm the founder of Meaningful Beauty. Well, I don't know about you, but I never liked being told, oh, wow, you look so good for your age. Why even bother saying that? Why don't you just say you look great at any age, every age? That's what Meaningful Beauty is all about. We create products that make you feel confident in your skin at the age you are now.
Meaningful Beauty. Beautiful skin at every age. Learn more at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance, it keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Lenovo.
Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
FAN.
Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by BigDeck.com.
So, I just looked at the video when Keishel got hit with a pitch. Broke his forearm, right? It looked like it barely hurt him. He's a tough guy. Didn't he just drop his bat and start heading down to first base? How do you break your forearm and not just go writhing on the ground? I guess he's a tough guy, but ouch, ugly for him. How about you didn't bring this up in 534, even though you teased it. We have a new backup quarterback.
Yes.
Sammy Howell, right?
Yes.
Drafted, I don't know. I think he's related to Thurston Howell III. He was like a 5th round draft pick?
5th round draft pick just a couple of years ago.
We traded with who? Was it Seattle we traded with?
Yeah.
Who would draft him? Were they the ones that drafted him or?
No, he was drafted by Washington in the 5th round in 2022. Was their starter in 2023. He was starter for most of the season. Not a great team working around him at the time. And then last year, I think he was traded before the season to Seattle to be the backup quarterback for Geno Smith. Got in one game, didn't go well.
Let me guess. Because we've got a quarterback development system like none other in the National Football League, he's going to be brilliant. This is all. He just needed a change, but he just needed to have quarterback whisper. Q-dubs.
Did we not turn around Sam Darnold's career?
Yes.
I mean, he hit the jackpot, right? Like, I get to go land in the spot where they're going to turn me around. I'm going to get paid in a couple of years. If everything happens to J.J. McCarthy,
if he gets to play, that's the problem. How will anybody know that he's the next Sam Darnold when he never gets on the field because J.J. McCarthy is going to be... Think about this, J.J. McCarthy, Offensive Player of the Month, the first month of the National Football League season. Howell will never see the field.
Or J.J. could have something go on with that meniscus again.
Oh.
And all of a sudden, Sam Howell lands into a spot where I've been told top 3 offensive line in football now. Best wide receiver in football. Quality second wide receiver. Top 5-ish tight end in the league. Quality running game. And the quarterback whisperer. You couldn't ask for a better spot to go if you're Sam Howell.
Wait, hold on. Oh, no, wrong one. I'm sorry. This was... Quack, quack. Quack, quack. Well, and you know what? I'm sorry I'm late to the party, and I'm always so skeptical. Am I the only one that still isn't really completely sold on that any quarterback that Kevin O'Connell takes under his wing is going to turn into the comeback player of the year or be in the kind of... You're going to take a team to 14-3 and set all kinds of personal records and league records?
If he does it with Sam Howell, will you start believing?
I guess then I'll have to then, or with J.J. McCarthy. Or was McCarthy already so talented at the number, we picked him at 10 overall, moved up to get him. Who's going to get the credit there? So a number of people are now suggesting that that means and this is just esoteric approach. It's not based on anything. It's just you get a feel for something. I felt all along that O'Connell and Aaron Rodgers have a handshake agreement. That's like, okay, I know you don't want to come to Oda's and minicamp, but I can't have that out there in the public, but I want to have you. So we'll cut a deal for you after Oda's, after minicamp. Then we'll bring you in. And Aaron says, fine. I can do some ayahuasca, take a darkness retreat or two, take care of some of my personal issues in my life, because remember, he had plenty of them. He said, I can come and play. Well, now I wonder if that is the case. Maybe I was wrong, because Sammy Howell or Do you think there's still a possible Aaron's coming? Or you don't think Aaron, you've never believed it, right?
I think, excuse me, after this weekend where the Vikings acquire a quarterback and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are in need of a quarterback, went the entire draft without picking one. They didn't select Jackson Dart. They passed on Shedeur Sanders, 4 times?
Not once, not twice, not 3 times, but
he
4.
fell to the 5th round. I don't know how many picks they had before then, but they passed on him multiple times. I think your original theory is correct. It's just with the Steelers instead of the Vikings. Aaron Rodgers is going to go to Pittsburgh. He just doesn't want to show up to all the offseason stuff. So that's why he hasn't signed yet. There's no other explanation.
There can't be, can there?
No.
Are you comfortable with the quarterback room as it stands?
It's hard to know. I mean, I like J.J. McCarthy out of college. I was happy the Vikings took him at 10. He's still unproven, though. I haven't seen him against NFL competition other than some second and third stringers for a half of football in a preseason game. So we're not going to know until we see him on the field in the regular season, I don't think. So I think it's hard to be all in on him. But like I said, I liked him as a prospect, and he's still young coming out of college. And I am a little bit more willing to go with, not that I want to call him quarterback whisperer, but I do think
he's got a way with
Kevin O'Connell can get the best out of some of these guys.
Okay.
Now, the quarterback still has to have some semblance of talent.
Yeah, that's
right.
For
Like
sure.
Kevin O'Connell can't just throw me out there and I'm going to be a Pro Bowler, right? Like there is I don't know where that line is.
They could get you cheap. You'd take the NFL minimum.
Oh, 100%.
You'd carry a clipboard, wouldn't you?
I've been doing my whole career on the minimum. I'm very familiar with it.
You'd be delighted to have the visor on and then the clipboard, right? And flashing in signs. You would love
there's
that.
no better gig.
You'd love that.
A couple $1 million a year.
That is a pretty good gig if you can get it. Yeah, so I think we're all set. Now, we do, you mentioned last week, and you're either on to something or you're on something. We might not be done in free agency. There's still players looking for work, and we've still got, there's plenty more where that came from. We got a lot of money, a lot of players, a lot of money out there.
The Vikings did not draft a cornerback, and the belief there is they've been waiting on us. They have to wait for some sort of deadline to get passed from a compensatory pick standpoint. I don't even know what that date is, but the hot rumor is Asante Samuel's coming here.
Okay. Because there were several, draft Nick recaps that's what they faulted the Vikings for, was not getting someone in the secondary, particularly safety. It's like, why would you get a safety? You're aging there. You lost a guy and you're aging there. But you're right, the Samuels guy, now, where is he at in his career? Is he young? Is he still got some, does he still have some mileage left? Or, I mean, you can play old. I mean, I like cunning and guile and savvy veteran instincts, even if you've lost it, because he's been around a while.
He's only played 4 years.
That's it.
But he only played 4 games this past season, so I'm guessing there's significant injuries coming off of some sort.
So that we got a lot of those guys in the club we signed that are coming off significant injuries. But yeah, what the hell? I mean, guys come back from injuries all the time. I mean, show me a National Football League player that has been in the league 4 or 5 years that hasn't had an injury, right? They all have them in one way or another. Some just are worse than others. Some are just, like some of them are just fender benders. Others, the car was totaled. Their body was totaled. So it just depends what kind of situation they were in. Packers went defense, did I see? Did I see that right?
No, they went wide receiver in the first round.
But then I think they went defense, I thought. They took a wide out.
They took 2 wideouts in the draft.
2?
Yeah.
They figure, what's his name, needs a lot of help.
Jordan Love?
Yeah, Jordan Love.
It's also, they are looking for an alpha wide receiver that they, despite what their fans keep trying to tell us, they haven't had one.
Lions got one of the report cards gave him a C-. Just didn't get what they're. Yeah, the Bears got ripped for taking a tight end. What were you going to say about the Packers?
I was going to say Packers' first 3 picks were on offense, so they didn't go defense till the 4th round. But the Bears went. They are just trying to set up everything around Caleb Williams. They spent a lot of free agency on offensive line, which is a huge issue.
They drafted a tight end. Is that correct?
Yes, but their first pick at number 10, Colson Loveland out of Michigan, first draft, and then one of my Purple Prey guys, I think the best wide receiver in this draft. Though we'll see how he does in Chicago because there's going to be a lot of mouths to feed there. Would be Luther Burden. They drafted him early in the 2nd round.
What's his coach? Ben Johnson guy. From watching him in Detroit, he likes 2 tight end sets. So that's probably why they went out and got a tight end.
Well, they paid Cole Kmet a lot.
Yeah, they want
too much money a year or 2 ago.
But they want him, or they want 2 tight ends. They'd like to run a lot of that 2 tight. That's probably why they drafted the kid. When did he go? That was relatively early in the draft.
Colson Loveland, their tight end? Yeah, they drafted him like 10. There were 2 very good tight ends in this draft.
Yeah.
Both went top 15.
Wow. All right, let's do this. Let's take a break, come back. I want to pick your brain about... there were several other NFL stories. I think the Shedeur Sanders is certainly worth talking about. And then he got pranked by an assistant coach of another team's son, and they had to come and apologize and weepy because he thought it was funny to say, I'm the New Orleans general manager and we're drafting you. So Sanders drops. I want to get your thoughts on that, Tim, because you love Shedeur Sanders.
I do.
You loved him.
He was my favorite quarterback in this class.
And so we'll talk about that, plus several other items. I didn't want to get back to the Wild with you. I got to see what the Jolly Green Giant thinks about his club's chances going forward. We'll pause. We'll come back with a little Distat Lat here on The Fan.
Hey, everybody. So when you get asked, what is Odoo, what comes to mind? Well, I'll tell you, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a suite of business management software that some people say is like fertilizer because of the way it promotes growth. But, some people also say that Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable.
Oh, but then again, you could look at Odoo in terms of how its individual software programs are a lot like building blocks. Whatever your business needs, manufacturing, accounting, HR programs, you can build a custom software suite that's perfect for your company. So what is Odoo? Well, Odoo is a bit of everything. Odoo is a fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. Yeah, that's it.
Which means that Odoo is exactly what every business needs. Learn more and sign up now at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Now I'd like to introduce you to Meaningful Beauty, the famed skincare brand created by iconic supermodel Cindy Crawford. It's her secret to absolutely gorgeous skin. Meaningful Beauty makes powerful and effective skincare simple, and it's loved by millions of women. It's formulated for all ages and all skin tones and types, and it's designed to work as a complete skincare system, leaving your skin feeling soft, smooth, and nourished. I recommend starting with Cindy's full regimen, which contains all 5 of her best-selling products, including the amazing youth-activating melon serum. This next generation serum has the power of melon leaf stem cell technology. It's melon leaf stem cells encapsulated for freshness and released onto the skin to support a visible reduction in the appearance of wrinkles. With thousands of glowing 5-star reviews, why not give it a try? Subscribe today and you can get the amazing Meaningful Beauty system for just $49.95. That includes our introductory 5-piece system, free gifts, free shipping, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. All of that available at meaningfulbeauty.com.
Come on, why is this taking so long? This thing is ancient.
Still using yesterday's tech? Upgrade to the ThinkPad X1 Carbon. Ultra-light, ultra-powerful, and built for serious productivity. With Intel Core Ultra processors, blazing speed, and AI-powered performance, it keeps up with your business, not the other way around.
Whoa, this thing moves.
Stop hitting snooze on new tech. Win the tech search at Lenovo.com. Lenovo. Unlock AI experiences with the ThinkPad X1 Carbon, powered by Intel Core Ultra processors, so you can work, create, and boost productivity all on one device.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows homes, so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish or satin, or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all in the app. Download today.
Man.
KFAN and Custom One Exteriors want to give you a chance to catch the St. Paul Saints in action. Check out our contest page to see how you could win a 4-pack of tickets to the Saints game against the Scranton Rail Riders on June 7th. That's KFAN.com, keyword contest to enter.
Couple 13-14 pass, Common Man program. Received this text message not long ago, Tennessee. It reads as follows. Tune in to the newest episode of the Studio 313 podcast. Deuce and Dylan recap their undefeated flag football regular season and the NFL draft. The guys close out the episode by discussing 16 options for post-graduation plans. 16?
Huh?
Will Deuce find a job? Or will he spend the next year, 2 years, maybe 5 years finding his footing in ATM's basement? Listen to find out. Available wherever you get your podcast, including on the iHeartRadio app. Will he spend the next 5 years finding his footing in ATM's basement? Of course, I'm ATM. That's how my boys spell, Dad. ATM. So he hasn't found a job yet, but he's sure busy with his podcast.
It sounds like he's a lot like his old man. The first segment's going to be about himself. Let's talk about my flag football team.
And then he's going to talk about what he's going to do for the rest of his life. So that means the podcast is basically all about him. He does sound like father, like son. The apple don't fall far from the tree. Is there any type of financial institution that would hire my kid? If you're out there, just call me, please. I got to get him a job. I don't want him living in my basement for 5 years. I've already got Pete back. I already told Pete, no showers longer than 10 minutes. This isn't a spa. I'm not going to take your clothes out of the dryer. I'm not going to do your laundry for you. I'm not picking up after you anymore. I had to do it already today. Empty pop can here, empty glass over there. There's always stuff scattered around the house. I told you what they say. Why do you just leave it on the living room floor? Well, because I know where it is then. I know where to find it. Shedeur Sanders dropped to the 5th pick in the National Football League draft.
5th round.
Or 5th round, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
5th round in the National Football League draft. Going in all last season during the season over at Colorado playing under the old man, he was pretty good. And everybody talked about how great he is. You love him. A lot of people love him. He was considered to be, even going into the draft night, wasn't he considered almost a slam dunk first-round pick, an early first round?
I mean, we started hearing some stuff a day or two, even the day of the draft, of, hey, there could be a slide in order here, right? Like, the odds makers the day of had him going all the way down to Pittsburgh at 21. And once Pittsburgh didn't draft him, then you could see a slide coming. But it was the biggest surprise is all the other quarterbacks that were drafted ahead of him. I mean, he had some no-name guys being taken.
Well, the two that the Dart kid and then Ward. Ward was expected to go overall,
yes,
or number 1 overall right away. And this, is it Jackson Dart?
Yes.
And he played at Ole Miss?
Mm-hmm.
What's his story? I mean, because I didn't hear a lot of hype about him either, right? I mean, it was a weak quarterback draft.
Yeah, it was a weak quarterback draft. He was kind of thought to be third in line after those top two. But it sounds like he's just like he'll be a system quarterback. But even the team that drafted Shedeur Sanders, Cleveland, drafted a quarterback before him. He wasn't even the first quarterback they took.
Don't they have 5 quarterbacks? They got Flacco.
They got Flacco.
Is Watson still considered on their club?
He's on the roster, but I don't know if he's going to be playing the season. They also have Kenny Pickett, who they acquired in trade.
You can pick him. Yeah, I've seen it many times.
They've got a lot of mediocre quarterbacks in that room.
I saw somebody got nominated for PST. One of the listeners sent me that some talking head from television basically said, boy, Cleveland's got the market cornered on quarterback now. I mean, they got a great quarterback room. Maybe Sanders will surprise. Maybe this is something he needed. I don't know. Pelissero was quoted in a story.
Well, and even they showed video of Kevin Stefanski and like whoever the GM is for Cleveland. They always show them their reaction after a pick is made. And usually, especially in the first round, you got guys in the room like giving each other high fives, super excited. When they had Sanders, like they were kind of giving like a golf clap, but didn't have like a smile on their face. So that led people to go, well, did they make the selection or did the owner make the selection?
NFL Network insider Tom Pelissero, one of us, he's from Minnesota. I told the story before. I worked for his dad at a company for a while. He was quoted in an Associated Press story as saying, at the Combine, it's now well documented, some of his formal interviews did not go well. One assistant coach told me in all his years, it was the worst formal interview he'd ever been through. People said that Shedeur was trying to dictate how he wanted things to go and made them feel small. So he was kind of telling me, do you think he gets that, a little that brashness and cockiness from his old man? Do you think that might be part of that?
It's in his genes.
I would think so. Other insiders reported that when NFL coaches asked the quarterback to show his work on schematic packages he'd been given and subsequently asked to explain in the room, Sanders was unable to do it. And the sense was that this was not about a lack of processing ability. Sanders simply didn't do the work. Someone here on the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line said he used this cliche, and maybe there's some truth as you tell me. He was born on third base and think he hit a triple. I mean, again, he was born to one of the greatest football players. Great, two-sport star, one of the most popular athletes, maybe of all time, right? Certainly out of the National Football League. Very brash, very cocky, very good. I mean, he could back it all up. We know that. And then that's your dad, and you're groomed to be a football player, and he's got a ton of talent. I guess he must, or else he wouldn't have been. He wouldn't have been considered to play in the NFL at all if you don't have talent. But
he was once considered the top pick in this draft.
Yes. Do you think?
I mean, there's clearly some sort of disconnect between what he was doing on the field and where he ended up. Something going on off the field that would make him slide. Because, like I said, you don't go from many believing you were the favorite to be the number one overall pick to sliding in the fifth round, unless there's something weird is going on off the field.
Well, this would explain what Pelissero says. If what he says, what other football people have said, would make sense if he's just kind of distant, didn't really know the schematics. Not because he didn't know them, he just didn't really care to do them. Was kind of dictating how he wanted things run. Almost like if you're like a veteran quarterback, you're a Hall of Famer, and you're saying, well, this is the way we got to do things. And you got to, when you get those kinds of guys, yeah, okay. Yes, sir, 3 bags full, sir. And then I don't know if,
he's also got the Deion circus that goes along. Right? I mean,
that's it.
I saw videos of Deion on a podcast, like months ago, going, "Well, yeah, there are certain teams you're just not going to go. You're not going to go to. We're not going to let them go there." Right? And it's like, well, when you start starting to trying to dictate where your kid's going to go, that alarm bells ring off with some of these NFL teams.
And then didn't he also say sometime during the college football season when they were asking him about his son and would he, but would Deion want to coach in the NFL, maybe go to Dallas or whatever? And he said, well, I'll go coach my son somewhere. He had some kind of a comment like that. And you're right, he's got the Deion circus. Is Deion going to be one of those guys that's calling the head coach, showing up at mini camp and training camp? And
they're going to ask him for quotes even when he's at Colorado.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't know if they need that. Is his dad his agent too? Somebody can't be. Somebody suggested that here on Twitter. He said, I think I heard, this is a text at the Bradshaw and Brian KFAN text line. I heard that he's his agent, which that's another one where you go, that's probably not a great decision, but that's what you get with the Sanders family. I mean, now he does have this going for him, if this helps. A lot of guys like having a chip on their shoulder, right? And he said all the right things. He thanked, what can he say at that point? I don't think you're going to come out and say, well, why did all these teams pass on me? Cleveland, of all places? That's the last place I want to play. Very thankful to the Cleveland organization. Very, You seem to be, humble to a certain extent. I guess you would be if you were at one point thought to be maybe the first pick overall to drop to the 5th round. And there's Cleveland ain't the only team that needs a quarterback. I mean, there's plenty of them out there, right? So that does speak volumes. And I don't know.
Also easier to accept a slide when as you mentioned, he grew up on, he was born on third base. His father's got plenty of money. He made lots of money and nil money in college. So he ain't living check to check.
This AP story goes on to say, beyond the off-field stuff, Sanders' adjustments to NFL football will be interesting. Sanders did what he did in 2024 behind perhaps the NCAA's worst offensive line, which is the main reason he was sacked 40 times, pressured 204 times on his 563 dropbacks. And he was pretty good himself under pressure. Pro Football Focus, Sanders completed 76 of 138 passes when disrupted for 1,117 yards and 12 tutties, 5 interceptions, and a passer rating of 95.6. And the story went on to point out, Tenneby, that the quarterback rating for under pressure for Cam Ward and Jason Dart were both worse than Sanders. So Sanders, and I think you could make that argument. I think this, from what I understand, and I guess I'll have to take the writer's word for it, Colorado, their offensive line was awful. They were a mess, right?
Yes.
So when you got a guy that's still able to post under pressure, 95.6, and Cam Ward was 88.7, and Jackson Dart was 83.9. Now, that's not the only stat you go by. It's like people that want to go by WAR or WISP or certain stats that you feel are more meaningful than others. But the under pressure stat to me is very revealing. I mean, when you're under pressure, can you still... Those are the best. You've seen it over the years. The guy he's got a guy hanging off his left arm. He's got a guy that's wrapped around his ankles, and he still finds a way to find the guy downfield and throw a perfect pass.
It wasn't throwing interceptions.
It wasn't
turning the ball over.
Exactly.
Now, he would take some bad sacks. But, clearly he had, a guy in Travis Hunter who's taken 2 overall in the draft. So he had one massively stud wide receiver to work with. Other than that, his offensive line was one of the worst. They didn't have a running game. They didn't have other receivers to go to. So he didn't have a lot, I know we've talked about Coach Prime in Colorado a lot over the last 2 years or so, but they built that program off of nothing. I mean, they were biblically bad before Shedeur and Travis came along.
Right.
And Dion.
Hunter went number 2 overall?
Yes. Jacksonville traded up a lot to move up 3 spots to get him.
Are they going to play on both sides of the ball? Is that a given that he will? Because he said he wants to.
From what they're saying, it sounds like they are going to favor wide receiver over cornerback, so that he'll be a wide receiver, and we're going to get him on cornerback as well. But I'm assuming, I don't think he's going to play 100% on both sides. It sounds like it'll lean more wide receiver than cornerback. Though, even at cornerback, I'm probably doing a wide receiver too. He ain't going to play 100% of the snaps on wide receiver. But if you are in sure thing passing downs on both sides of the ball, you can throw them out there knowing, hey, we're not running the ball or we're not defending a run play in this situation.
If you had to pick one position you had to play, and you're thinking about the financial part of it, you want to be wide receiver.
Which is probably why he's arguing for it.
Yeah. Because that's where you're going to make your money. So it's interesting. I don't like to talk about myself, or use myself as an example or an analogy, but as a lot like the Hunter kid. But I played both sides of the ball every play. I never you're not going to go out for common. You're not going to be the fierce pass rushing Rocket Gibraltar run stopping defensive lineman we've used for the other team's first 2 offensive possessions. The third time, this time we're going to let you rest. I played both. I never took a play off. Same thing when on offense. I was a precise route running, sure had a pass catching time. So it sounds like Hunter's not quite where I was, but still, you don't see that often in the NFL. Anybody that plays both sides. When was the last one? Was it Dion?
Dion. I'm trying to think.
I don't know of any other player.
Who was the wide receiver for the Patriots who played wide receiver like his entire career, and then they threw him at defensive back for like a playoff run or for a season?
Okay.
Was it Deion Branch? Is that who it was?
It could.
I remember him playing some cornerback.
I'm not prepared for the show. I'm being told by the program director and everybody else I've had too many missteps today.
How's that any different than any other show?
Well, that's it, yeah. And so I missed I'm playing golf on Friday. I didn't see him get hit by a pitch, and I didn't see the story. And I had to go back about 20 stories to find the Keishel guy, and then I saw it, so it's not the end of the world. It's a bad break for him, but worse for me. And I knew it was Jake Eichel. I just couldn't remember the name.
Jack
it's
Eichel.
like, see, Jack. See, bad with names. He's the only guy I know on their team is Jack Eichel. And then their goaltender, I can't remember his name.
Hayden Hill.
Hayden Hill.
By the way, so I took my kids to the game Saturday.
What kind of a name is that for it? I mean, what happened to, Jacques Plante and, all those extravagant Canadian names are Russian Hill.
Aiden's a very Gen Z type, generation type name where it ends with the N. Two syllable ends with the N.
All right. Just Hill just doesn't sound like it. That sounds more like a football player, but it doesn't sound like a hockey player to me. But that's okay, too.
So I took my kids to the game Saturday.
Oh, right. Okay, I'm sorry.
And their first experience in a playoff hockey game. And the crowd constantly toward Aiden Hill was chanting, Civ, Civ, Civ. But my kids misheard the word. They don't know what a Civ is.
Right.
They thought they were saying sit. So yesterday we're at the local park playing basketball. One of them makes a basket. He starts pointing his hand at the other and goes, sit, sit, sit. That is funny.
That's really good.
So they'll forever think that it's not Civ, it's sit.
So just the three of you went to the game, the two boys? Or
I brought Ingrid too, yeah.
Was that available to everybody?
No, it was not available to everyone.
Just wondering if it was available.
No.
Then did you go to the theater the previous night and concert the night before that? It's available to everybody.
I always love that one.
Wow, we went to that hockey game. Those are some hot tickets, man.
Yeah.
Really hot tickets in town. Oh, by the way, so Meat Sauce and the Power Trip Morning Show will be in Brainerd along with me. Well, I'm really not there. It's like, we talked about this before. It's like, the marquee, the Power Trip Morning Show. And then in the very bottom, and Common Man.
Much smaller font.
Teeter Green, just really small. You have to kind of squint your eyes to see it. I'm going to be up there. But, so superintendent guy, and I get it. This isn't, I'm going to say this right now, Timmy. This isn't available to anybody. It's only available to the ambassador. I'm going to go out at 6 a.m. Saturday morning so I can get a round of golf and see what the course is like, talk about it on Tee to Green, and Sauce is going to be up there. And I said, 6 o'clock, you and I. So I texted him this morning, or just a little while ago during the show, and I said, 43 degrees and sunny at 6 a.m. I'm guessing you're out. What do you think he responded? 6 o'clock, Saturday morning, and it's going to be 43 degrees.
Yeah, he's out. He'd rather watch Oprah.
Well, it's funny. Here's what he said. You'll like this. I was kind of surprised. He said, that's hideous. But as of now, I'm in.
Wow.
Got to see how the kiddo does 2 nights in a hotel room. Because the whole family's coming up there. So that, is that just a convenient? Because the kids thing can get you out of anything you don't want to do when they're really young. Oh, can't. Got kids. Got to do stuff with the kids. Got to do. So when somebody wants you to do something like, hey, I'm moving this weekend. Do you think you can help me load up a couple of Davenports and a Barca on a truck? Oh, can't. Got my kid.
Yep.
Got too much stuff going on. I mean, got a newborn. So it works well.
But he's also at that point where it might go the opposite way, where he just wants to get out of the house. Like, if I can get a freebie and get out of here for 4 hours,
right?
I'm willing to go in 42 degree weather.
It better not be 4 hour show starts at 10. We want to get around in 3, but I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get to get out of the house for 3 hours.
Sure.
He's in. There's a lot of people that won't play if it's under 60 degrees. There really are. I get it. I mean, if I could snap my fingers, I'd want every morning 65 degrees with a light breeze and sunny skies. But if you're going to play a lot. Do you know how, when I walked out of the house today, I was expecting, because this is what it's been like for 6 months, expecting to get hit by that wave of cold wind. I opened the door and it's already 63 degrees outside and it just felt so nice. We just don't get weather like that. I mean, it's starting now and the days start getting shorter in about 40 days. It'll soon be gone, but we'll see if Meat Sauce rises to the occasion and joins me out at golf. And then Tita Green will be on Saturday from 10 until 10 until noon. But yeah, they're really excited up at Grandview for having, I talked to Emma. She's part of the brains of the operation behind it. Of course, Adam Haugen is head golf professional at the Pines. I met assistant marketing guy, and I'm sorry, his name slips my mind. Well, I'm so bad with names. Hell, I can't even remember your name. I think it's Blandon Molesky. I think it's Blandon. But they're excited to have the power trip up there. They're selling rooms. I would say sales of rooms went from tepid to brisk.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of locals would be there because it's that opportunity to see that cast of characters. You'll see Meat Sauce, Hockey, and Cove. I don't know how many of the contributors show up for something like that, but I got to think it's probably half a dozen or so maybe more. So the Power Trip Morning Show will broadcast live. And I think they might be doing something Thursday night. Don't hold me to this. I don't know if it's a meet and greet, but I do know Friday for sure they'll be doing their show and playing the initials game, so it should be pretty cool. And then Saturday, Tita Green from 10 until noon. Let's pause, come back with a little Distad Lat. Controversial Vikings news other side of the break here on the Common Man program on The Fan.
Some people say that Odoo business management software is like fertilizer, the way it promotes growth and all. But other people say Odoo is like a magic beanstalk because it grows with your company and is also magically affordable. And there's some people who would even say Odoo's individual software programs come together to build the perfect suite like building blocks. Well, Odoo is all of these things. Fertilizer, magic beanstalk, building blocks for business. So sign up now at odoo.com. ODOO.com.
In the heat of battle, your squad relies on you. Don't let them down. Unlock elite gaming tech at Lenovo.com. Dominate every match with next-level speed, seamless streaming, and performance that won't quit, so you can push your gameplay beyond performance with Intel Core Ultra processors. For the next era of gaming, upgrade to smooth, high-quality streaming with Intel Wi-Fi 6E and maximize game performance with enhanced overclocking. Win the tech search. Power up at Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. The wait is almost over. Get ready for the NFL season like never before with the highly anticipated 2025 NFL schedule release. Every rivalry, every rematch, every rookie debut, every game revealed. The dates will be set. Primetime matchups will be known, and the road to the Super Bowl starts here. The full NFL schedule release, Wednesday, May 14th. Get all of the details at NFL.com/schedule release.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.